Hello, everybody. This is Katy Rogers with Hotspot Nashville, and I am currently at the Ray Stevens CabaRay out here on River Road in West Nashville. Hi, Ray. How are you?
Hi, fine, Katie. How are you?
Thank you very much for inviting me here. I'm doing great. I mean, what a great place to hang out. Do you enjoy hanging out here in your studio a lot?
Well, I'm usually working when I'm here, but I will admit it's a nice place.
Talk a little bit about your CD, your new CD. Say what? What do you have to say about your new CD, and how's it performing out there? I listened to it this morning in entirety. I picked out a few songs that I really liked, but I'd like to hear which songs that you're pushing at this time off of there.
Well, I'm pushing whatever people want to hear. You know, one of the songs in there is kind of going along with current events. It's called Bubba changed his name to Charlene and went out and joined the girls swimming team. So they won every race, broke every record in the state. So now they're making him homecoming queen. That's kind of a neat little song. And there's another song in the album called Everybody's on the Telephone, and which is true.
You're just kind of playing with current news headlines. Is that what you're doing to
some
come
of
up
the
with a
songs
song?
are about.
Because I love the one about the telephone because it's true. Everybody can relate to that. Everybody's on their phone every minute of the day. I see people with their phones on in the restroom talking in there. You know, I mean, they just don't take a break. So it's funny, and I think people would relate to that one. I really like the Boom Boom Gentlemen's Club. That was really, and of course, you have this excellent band/orchestra that's just, as soon as they start playing, it's just amazing. I mean, you can feel the room rumble, you know, when your band plays. Don't you agree? I mean,
you mean on the show?
On the show, and
yeah.
even coming through on the CD. Yeah.
Oh,
it was
sure.
great.
The best musicians in Nashville are. I've had the chance to work with them, and of course, I enjoy working with all the great talent around this town.
When you had the grand reopening on Saturday, which was fabulous, by the way, I had a great time, and I think everybody did. I mean, I was hearing a lot of comments, but some of your staff were saying that they've been with you since Branson. As a matter of fact, when you had businesses in Branson, so that says something about you.
Yeah, I built a theater in Branson in 1990, and I worked 3 years at my theater over there, 91, 92, 93, and Branson was a fun place to work. I mean, tourists came there from all over the United States, and their main goal was to see shows, see performances, live performances of musical artists, and sure made for a good atmosphere.
Now,
if you're a singer, you know.
Great. And did people? Did you sing there more times than once a week? I mean, were you there every night?
I sang there 2 shows a day, 6 days a week.
Wow, that's amazing.
12 shows a week, yeah.
Well, folks are still talking about, Branson. I've learned a lot about what you did in Branson by just other people and fans. And I will tell you that when I was leaving in the departing line the other night, people were saying, I knew he wouldn't retire. How could Ray Stevens retire? I mean, I was listening, because I wanted to hear what they had to say about the show. And everybody was just so excited about your new material. And, of course, as soon as you break into one of your old songs that we all know and love so well, Misty, and all the different ones that you're famous for, and that you've, different songs you've run Grammys for, people just sit and listen very carefully. They just enjoy it.
Well,
If It Walks Like a Duck, too,
that's Buddy.
That was really funny, and that reminded me of old school Ray. So I really enjoyed that, and I wanted to ask you, too, how are you promoting your album these days? Because folks are doing it a lot of different ways, even if they don't get played on the radio. You mentioned that in your act about radio and whatnot, but they're finding other creative ways to push their albums and their music and to get people out there hearing it without even being on the radio. Do you do that too?
Well, of course. I mean, you have to do everything you possibly can because since the advent of the internet, radio has lost a little ground as far as being the main place where you promote new records. But there are all these websites now that you can get played on and buy time. You can buy time on some of the websites to get your records played, and people have to do that now because of the way the way to expose product has evolved, and it's just one of the things of time marches on, you know.
It does, and I'm glad to see that you're keeping up with things. Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. You know how it is. I'm kind of stuck in the 70s myself, but anyway, I get razzed about it a lot. And I know I was telling you about how, getting into my father's record collection and seeing yours throughout there, along with Herb Albert, and I mean, all kinds of people, Simon and Garfunkel, and you were right there in my dad's collection with all those people. So, and all those different things. So I always like to, I wrote a little story about that, and folks really enjoyed that. So let's talk about the CabaRay a little bit. It opened in 2018. Like I told you, I was asked to even keep an eye on your place, which I happily did and still do, just because you're a great neighbor and a great friend. I sure appreciate that, Ray, and for having me today. So I wanted to talk about what all happens here. This is what I've been curious about, because I've never been back here beyond the front door. So what other things happen here besides your shows?
Well, this is a great recording studio
It's beautiful.
that I had built into the building, and I spend a lot of time here recording. And of course, there are all kinds of events that happen here because of the showroom. I mean, I don't work there every night, and so we've got a lot of open nights that other events can occur, and we enjoy that, and the people who work here book the place and come and perform here seem to enjoy it too, so it's all around good thing.
How long are you going to continue doing live shows now? I know you're doing this. I saw that you were doing this to promote your new album here.
Right.
We've talked a bit about that. Of course, you have a lot of albums. And is that going to last through the end of the year, or how are you going to go about that? Kind of play it by ear, or?
We'll just see what happens. I mean, I'm here for as long as I need to be.
All right.
So.
Well, we want you to hang in there, and you really have quite a list of songs. I just wanted to talk about that. You were inducted in the Country Music Hall of Fame. The Country Music Hall of Fame in 2019. You were pretty excited about that. I've talked about that because on occasion I do, as a volunteer, get to go and see the folks inducted.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of a short list to get in there. And I've got to say, and I tell this to other folks, that I've really never seen anybody more excited maybe than you. You just smiled and smiled. And when you smile, the world smiles, Ray. So you had your beautiful medallion out there in your case.
Yeah,
It's unbelievable. What else is in that case out there that you'd like to tell folks about?
Gosh, I don't know.
Grammys,
gold records.
Now, you do a lot of humanitarian things too, don't you? Do you help your community quite a bit?
Yeah, sure.
I heard that about you.
Yeah.
And in what capacity do you do that?
Whatever.
Shriners? Are you with the Shriners?
Yeah,
and
I
that
love
sort
the
of thing,
Shriners.
right?
They're a good group, and they do a lot of good work. And I wrote a song about those guys by accident one time, and they loved it. And wow, I mean, they bought so many records it became a hit. So there you go.
They sound like great friends,
Oh yeah.
And I like it when you talk in your act about how your personal life a little bit, and give people a view of that, because a lot of people are curious about that, including me. So I wanted to ask I know you collaborate a lot with Buddy, but who's had probably the biggest impact on you as far as your comedy and your show style goes? Who would you say?
Oh gosh, I don't know. When I was a kid growing up, my favorite recording artist was Ray Charles, and I used to know every song he ever recorded. And this time on the show, I'm doing a Ray Charles. I call it a Ray Charles medley, and it's 5 or 6 of Ray's biggest hits, and the audience seems to like it.
I thought they liked it a lot. I saw it, and I actually shared it in my post on Facebook when you did that medley, and I thought it was fabulous.
Great.
I hadn't seen you do. Now I know Buddy's older than you. You're 86 years old. Do you feel like slowing down at all? I mean,
well,
is this what drives you?
86 and a half, actually.
Okay.
But who's counting? But Buddy is 87, and he's 6 months older than me. So, no, he's not 87 yet. He'll be 87 in July.
Well, because the other night he told me he was 87, and I said, "Oh, I didn't know you were older than Ray."
Now maybe I'm wrong.
That's okay.
I know his birthday's in July.
I think it's great you guys hang out and make great music together. What better friend could you have? How long have you all been working together?
Well, we met when we were teenagers in Atlanta. We were both writing songs for a music publisher down there named Bill Lowry.
Mm-hmm.
And Bill got a lot of people started in the music business, people like me and Jerry Reed and Tommy Rowe, Joe South, Billy Joe Royal.
A lot of big names.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them have their pictures on your walls upstairs,
They
correct?
do.
'Cause that tells
They
the
do,
story
yeah.
of all your musical journey, correct?
Well, yeah, it's part of it. I like to say that those murals on the walls in the showroom was sort of pictorial history of Music City.
Yes.
'Cause I moved up here in '62 to be a session musician and played on a lot of sessions and took my camera and took a lot of pictures, and so some of those old pictures go all the way back to 1962.
Wow.
And they're session musicians and songwriters, record producers, recording artists.
Well, I see a lot of folks checking them out, and I have looked at them, but I don't think since you opened, actually. So I need to take a look at those again, because
Yeah.
I'm a history nerd. I love any kind of history. I love hearing people's stories like yours. So I really thank you very much. I don't want to wear you out
No.
for having me here in the studio. One thing I wanted to ask you, and I know you were born in Georgia, right? Clarkdale, pardon me, Georgia. Can't read my own writing. I told you.
Oh,
The
wow.
memory and the writing goes, right?
Everybody says puts an S on Clark.
Sorry
I don't know
about
why.
that. And also, I wanted this question I want to ask. Were your parents funny?
No, they were just normal.
Were they?
Yeah.
What did they think of your humor around the house?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm really making you think today, aren't I?
Yeah.
Go back in time. Well,
Oh, me.
anything else you'd like to add to all of our friends out there that watch Hotspot and that are big
Well,
fans of yours? You have a lot of fans.
Well, it's good to hear, and I just would like to say, if you can, come to the CabaRay in Nashville. It's a lot of fun, and we'd love to see you.
Well, thank you, Ray. And this is Katy Rogers with Hotspot at Ray Stevens Cabaret in West Nashville. Thanks again, Ray. You're such a good friend and neighbor. I appreciate you.
Thanks for coming.
All right.